Start with a knee lift. And as you lift those knees, think of keeping that core drawing in, lifting your thighs up towards your body. And you're going to do 2 more, and then we're going to add a wide V with your arms overhead. Keep those knees lifting. If it's too much for your shoulders, go back to prayer with those hands. Remember to keep your posture up nice and tall. And find your breath. Start pulling those arms down, elbows in towards your sides, and shoot them back up to that wide V every time you lift your knee. Core engaged, posture tall. Start to warm up those muscles. And hold that position. You're going to shoot one leg back. Follow the foot to the floor. Here's where you can use the walls for balance if you need to. You're going to take a long lunge. Front knee is not over your toes, in line with your ankle. You're going to reach your arms forward and then pull your elbows back, lengthening that calf behind you. As you reach the arms long, that heel comes down. Hold it there, and you're going to do some back extension warm up. Hinge forward at the waist. Keep drawing the navel in. Keep the spine long, neck long. Bring your hands to prayer. Pull them down to your heart. Pull that back leg in and reach the opposite leg back into that long lunge. Arms shoot overhead. Pull the elbows back as that heel lifts away. And as that heel comes down to the floor, arms lengthen out overhead. If it's too much for your arms or your shoulders, you can bring your hands into prayer here and just work that leg. You have 3 more and 2. And next one, you're going to pause and hold that hinge forward for that back extension. Legs stay static. Knee in the front is bent, but not over your toes. You're going to hinge forward. If you need to here, you can bring your hands into prayer also as you hinge forward. 1 more. And you're going to stand up, bring those hands to prayer, bend that back knee, use the walls if you need to, and then feet to parallel. Forward fold. You're going to reach both feet back, hands to the floor. You're going to come to a plank. Hold it here, drawing the navel in. You're going to shoot the hips back into pike and then back into plank. You're going to move through those shoulders. Shoulders are going to come over your hands, and then as you reach your hips back, and press your chest towards your thighs. And then last one, walk your hands back into your feet and roll it up. Nice job. Roll down one more time. Walk it out, those hands, and then walk it back. Plank walks. Roll it up and reach. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Forward fold. Walk your hands out, keeping your hips still, and then walk your hands back in to your feet. Inhale, exhale, reach it up. Nice job. That was a quick one. Going right into lunges. You can grab one weight or a water bottle or no weights. And we are going to stand next to a wall. You don't have to be in a hallway, but it's going to help our balance and our posture to stay up nice and tall. Feet are parallel, and you're going to step the inside foot. The foot next to the wall is going to step back. And then you're going to start to drop the back knee, bending the front knee. You're going to come into a 90-degree angle with that front knee and with the back. That back heel is lifted up away from the floor the whole time. And I'm just slightly keeping that inside hand on the wall to keep my posture up and nice and tall. And then that hand with the weight in it is just doing a front arm raise, keeping a soft elbow. Remember that front knee never comes over the toes. Try to keep it over the ankle. As you come down, now we're going to go to halfway, all the way down, halfway up, half range. This is where it's going to start to burn. It's really going to burn the front of your thighs in this one. Just do what you can. If you need to stand up out of it, take a stretch, do it. You're going to breathe through the burn. Try to reach that back knee down as deep as you can and then up halfway. 2 more. Next one, you're going to stay down. You're going to hold it down, static hold with your legs. Just, oh, no, we're pulsing. Pulse it up an inch, down an inch. Your arm is just right straight down. You're hinging forward slightly so all the weight is in the front heel. Down an inch, up an inch. My hand's still light on the wall. You got 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to go that static hold. Hold it here. You're going to hinge forward even more in that upper body. Nice long spine here. And you're going to reach that outside arm with the weight back. And I keep it nice and long. and then down in front of the shoulder. Reach it back and down in front. All that work is in that front leg. Feel it a little bit in the back leg. Go ahead and stand up, shake it out, and we'll switch to the other side. So if you're on a wall, you can rotate and switch around, or in the hallway, just switch to the other side. Inside foot is back. Outside hand has that weight, and you can start with your full range here. My posture is staying pretty tall in full range. I might hinge forward just a little bit, depends if you feel any pulling in your lower back. But you want to try to keep a neutral spine. If you don't need the wall, you can bring your hand to your hip. Try to keep your feet parallel and on train tracks. That's going to help with your balance. We're going to keep going the full range. It's going to burn even more on the second side. 4 more here. Then we're going to go to the half range. 2 more. You're going to find your deepest range, whatever that is, and then come up halfway. Same thing with the arm. You're going to go down halfway and back up with the arm. If you need balance, you can reach out, grab that wall. Keep your posture up tall. 3 more half ranges, burning in those thighs. Last one, you're going to hold it there and do down an inch and up an inch. Weight or water bottle is right down. Front knee is not over those toes, in line with the ankle. 2 more here. Last one, hold it down your deepest range. Static hold with the legs, and you're going to sweep that outside arm with the weight back and in. My neck is long, eyes looking down in front of that front foot. 3 more here. 2 and 1. Slowly bring that back leg in. My legs are really wobbly. We're going to grab a stretch. Quad stretch. You can kick one heel behind. Use that wall for balance if you need to. I'll show you from the side. Try to keep that lower back in neutral when you're doing this stretch. Squeeze your hips forward slightly. And that was lunges. Now we're going to go into upper body. It's going to be against the wall. You're going to step your feet back, and you're going to have your hands wide in push-up position. Fingertips slightly turned in. Elbows are going to track out away from the body. And I'm keeping my lower back in neutral, not letting it drop as I come near the wall. Keeping my core engaged, my ribs in, and my spine long. And as I hinge forward, or as I bend my elbows out and bring my head right in between those hands, that's going to be your target on the wall. And for those of us who might be clumsy, be careful. Look at the wall. I did hit it. It's okay. And now you're going to move your hands up the wall. You're going to rotate the elbows. So now your elbows are going to point straight down to the floor, and you're going to think of bringing those forearms down to the wall. This is going to burn in the triceps. Same thing with the spine. Keep it nice and long. Draw the core in. And keep those hands flat. My fingertips are pointing up the wall. Again, my head is coming right down, right about in between those wrists. Important thing here is those elbows tracking down. Now, if you want to add a little extra, you can do one-handed. Key here with one-handed push-ups against the wall is you want to keep your hips square to the wall and your chest. Try not to lift one hip higher than the other or lose your square body to the wall. You can move that hand around wherever you need it. My hand is above my shoulder so that my elbow can drop towards the wall. After a couple, you can switch to the other one. Or if you're doing both hands, keep going. You can also add a little bit more intense strength work by pressing away from the wall up into a balanced position before you come back down. Just make sure you keep your elbows soft and keep that core engaged. Keep going, almost there. These ones are going to burn too. Back to both hands against the wall. We're going to go back to those push-ups. So again, you're coming right in between those hands. I came up to my toes. It's an option if you want to also work the lower leg muscles, and you can stay nice and long in those legs. You bend those elbows out, bring that head right in between those hands, and then press away. So my elbows are tracking out away from my body here, like a chest push-up on the floor. All right, going into our hip work. We're gonna do it standing. I'm gonna stand about a foot away from the wall, and then I'm gonna drop my inside shoulder to the wall and hug around my waist with that inside arm. I'm gonna start just lifting that leg out and maybe tapping the wall next to me. You don't have to go high with these, and I'm trying to keep my hips pointing straight ahead. One more like this, and I'm gonna add my lateral arm raise. Option here, you don't have to add that, just a little coordination. Anytime you do unilateral work or one side working at a time, you're always gonna strengthen the core a little bit to stabilize your body. Lifting away. Exhale as it goes out and inhale back down. I'm keeping my toes and my knees pointing straight ahead, and my standing knee is soft. Be careful not to lock into it. And I'm only coming up to my shoulder, maybe a little bit above, with my lateral arm raise. You can grab heavier weights for these if you can, or if you won't have them. 2 more here. Then we're gonna hold it up. Hold the arm and the leg up. You're gonna rotate the palm up. You're gonna do a bicep curl, and then I'm doing a hamstring curl with that lifted leg. I'm trying to keep my leg up, that outside leg, and I'm just flexing at the ankle and foot, pulling my heel in towards my hamstring. At the same time, I'm pulling that weight or that water bottle in towards my shoulder for a high curl. Keep breathing. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Second side, stretch it out a little bit. You're going to come either to that other wall or flip it around, and then you're going to step again about a foot or so away from the wall, soft inside knee. Get those hips square. You can hug around your waist with that inside arm. You're just going to start with the side leg left. Toes and knees tracking straight ahead. 3 more like this, and you're going to add that lateral arm raise and arm and leg moving out away from the body. Try to keep it the same pace, going out and back in. Exhaling as that leg and arm move away, and then inhaling them back in. Ribs into your midline, navel drawing in, and your spine is in neutral. It means your lower back is in the natural position it would be in if you were standing. You're not tucking and you're not letting it tilt out. 2 more like this. Last one, you're gonna hold it up, rotate the palm up, and you're going to do that hamstring curl with that leg as you bicep curl that weight or water bottle in. Try to keep that thigh lifted if you can as you curl that heel in towards your hamstring and then reach it long. Breathe. Three more. Last one. Nice job. Go ahead and stretch it out. Set the weight or the water ball down if you need to. I'm going to do a stretch here, figure 4 stretch with my door jambs. If you have a hallway set up like this is a really good stretch for your hips. Keep that top ankle and foot flexed as you sit your hips back, and we're moving on to the floor. So you can come down to your elbows here for your glute work. You're going to have your elbows underneath your shoulders. You're going to reach one leg back nice and long. Your lower back is going to stay nice and long, drawing the navel in. Full range here. You're going to reach the leg up and then tap the toes down. Try to keep your hips level, and you're really squeezing into the glute of that lifting leg. Keep your shoulders flat across your back and your neck long. You're going to inhale the leg down, exhale it up. One more. You're going to hold that leg up, flex at the ankle. We're going to do those hamstring curls. Try to keep your thigh parallel to the floor. You're going to flex, pull the heel in, point and lengthen away. This one is tough. Try to keep that leg up. If you have a mirror or something you can watch yourself in. If you start to get a heavy head, you can stack fist over fist and relax your head on top, or grab some pillows so you keep your neck long but not strained. Keep going. Last one. Leave that leg out nice and long, and you're going to reach behind the standing knee and then out at an angle. Tap behind and then out. If you're in a hallway, you can make it kind of a goal to tap and then maybe tap the wall to the other side. If you're careful, don't want to bring your foot up too fast. And here I'm trying to hold my core in nice and tight so there's not too much movement or wiggling through the waist. Keep breathing. Last one. Bring that leg down and sit back for a stretch in child's pose before you come up to do the other leg. Again, come down to those elbows. Nice long spine, draw your navel in. Neutral lower back again. That just means your natural curve in your lower spine as you start to lift and lower that opposite leg, full range. Nice long neck. If you need to stack your fists to rest your forehead on, or grab some pillows. 4 more. You can also do this up leaning on a table if you can't get down to the floor for knee problems or anything like that. Now you're going to add those hamstring curls. Leg stays lifted. You're going to flex, bend, pull that heel in, and then reach and lengthen away. Try to keep that thigh parallel again to the floor. Keep going, breathe through it. Last one. Go ahead and do those diagonal taps behind the standing leg and then out to the side. Keep that neck long. Last one. Go ahead and bring that long leg in. Sit your hips back in child's pose. Take a stretch in child's pose, or you can pull one knee forward and reach the opposite leg long behind you for pigeon. Get a deeper stretch here in the hips and the glute. And then switch it up. Pull the opposite knee in. Sit your hips back. And get ready for core. You can flip it over, sit on your sit bones, knees together, feet together. Sit nice and tall, use the backs of those legs to sit up, and then you're going to tuck back off your sit bones, draw the navel in deep, and you're going to start to alternate legs, lifting one foot at a time. You can hold on to those legs, or if you want, you can release and float those arms right up in front of your shoulders, but keep that scooped out, supported position in your core. When you lengthen these legs, think of squeezing your quads, the front of your thighs, to help track that knee. Leave one leg up. You're going to pull that knee and thigh in towards your chest for little crunches here. Again, here, if you need to, you can hold behind that lifted leg for a little extra support. We're counting down, but we're going to add 5 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen that leg out and then go ahead and pull it next to the opposite leg. Get a stretch here. It's going to feel a little bit into your hip flexors just because that bent position can be a little deep for them. So get a stretch and then come back into that same position. Lift the opposite leg up. We're going to squeeze into that quad a couple times. Lengthen that leg. You can float those hands up again in front of the shoulders. Keep that scooped out position with your core. If it's too much here, you can always add a pillow behind you or a 8 to 9 inch playground ball or mini ball to help support your body without straining your lower back. Keep that leg lifted, and then you're going to pull that thigh in towards your chest if you need to hold behind your legs. But keep drawing the navel in and finding that lift from your core. If that's too much for your hip flexors, you can always straighten the opposite leg out as long as it stays down to the ground. 2 more. You're going to go ahead into that open stretch again. Knees open out. Stretch into those hip flexors. Bring those feet back together. Knees together. Both feet are going to lift up away from the floor if you can. If it's too much, they can stay down. Find that scooped out position again, and I'm just going to rotate side to side. Tap one wall, tap the other. This gives me something to aim for, but if you're in the middle of the floor or just next to one wall, that's fine. Tap one side and then rotate. Trying to rotate in my thoracic spine, in my rib cage, keeping my knees and legs as still as I can. Draw the navel in deep to help lift the legs instead of just pulling them up with your hip flexors. And go ahead and set those feet down. Lengthen the legs out, forward fold, stretch. And we're going to flip it around. I'm flipping it around. You don't have to. Just to show you, we're going to roll all the way down. Legs are straight up over your hips. Lower back flat to the floor, navel drawing in. I'm just going to tick-tock my legs side to side. I'm tapping the wall, not letting them fall into the wall, so it takes control. And you're going to try to add a leg drop in the middle. If it's too much, as your legs drop, if you feel that lower back pop up off the floor, bend your knees and come to a tabletop position in the center, or you can drop one leg at a time as you come through center. That would be a single leg drop. There's a single leg drop. You just want to make sure you alternate the legs that you're dropping. If you do the single leg or a little bit more intense, keep both legs together as you drop them. You're going to come to tabletop. We're going to drop those toes and then draw the knees in for a reverse crunch. Drop the toes, toe tap, pull the knees in. I'm using the walls and a door jamb here. My arms are in a T position. It's kind of helping to keep my stability. On a reformer, Pilates reformer, you'd have a bar overhead. So this is kind of mimicking that a little bit. Again, if it's too much to extend your legs out, just keep them in that bent 90-degree position. And that was the last one. Go ahead and put your feet down. You're going to draw one knee in. Figure 4 stretch if those hips and glutes are still sore. And switch it to the other side. And roll it up. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, roll it up. And if you want, you can flip it over. Find yourself in a seated position. Or you can come into a pigeon if that's okay with your knees. Again, stretching through those hips. Just stretch through the front of your body where you just work the core. Looking up. And then reach that leg back. You're going to come all the way down. A little cobra stretch here if it's okay. You're going to draw the navel in. Tuck the tailbone down to the floor as you reach up and look up. You can do it from your elbows and then press it up, and that's it. Thanks for working out, guys.